Tell you something. I was laughing at my auntie a few days ago. She was like, "Girl, you know you just like your cousin. Y'all be wanting a man to chase after y'all, and stuff like that." And I was thinking to myself, I'm thinking like, well, auntie, why would we be chasing after men? The men are supposed to be chasing after us. And I was kind of like looking at me and my cousin and how we grew up, my background, how we were treated as children. And the both of us were really spoiled. Like, she came up in a two-parent household with her father and her mother. She was a type that she could have anything she wanted. She was really blessed. And I was spoiled. I was spoiled a lot by my grandma. My grandma spoiled the mess out of me. Coming up, I was always used to having what I wanted. But I realized the fact that I was so spoiled coming up kind of shaped how I allowed people to treat me and what I allowed people to give me. I don't allow a man to breadcrumb me because my whole life I haven't ever been breadcrumbed. I'm used to having it my way and what I want because that's how I was raised up. I was that spoiled child that got everything that I wanted. So dealing with men and in relationships, when I hear my auntie talk about how we act with men, why in the world would I accept the bare minimum from you if I came up in a household where I was treated like a princess and had everything I ever wanted all my life and everybody always adored me? Why would I go from a whole childhood and an early on adulthood of always having my way to dealing with a joker that only want to give me 25% and want a 50-50 to mess up out of me and want to do the bare minimum? Like, the way that you are treated as a child, the treatment that you are used to has a lot. It can have something to do with, okay, how you carry yourself as a woman when you are dealing with men, and just how you carry yourself as a woman, period. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so important that we give our daughters the, I was going to say the utmost respect, but they do need the utmost respect. But I was going to say that's why it's important that from an early age we spoil our daughters and treat them like young ladies, and just like let them have that lifestyle and childhood of knowing what it's like to be a princess. Whether it's daddy's little girl, mama's baby, grandma's baby, they need to know what it's like to always be in a position where their nails are kept up, their hair's kept up, they're spoiled with gifts, they can get whatever they want. I think that every young girl need to go through that phase of just really knowing what it's like to be spoiled, loved, and adored by her family. Because to me, when you go through that and you have that, when you get grown and you just you've been used to that your whole life, you're not going to let no man play with you. You know what I'm saying? If you used to having your way and, you know what I'm saying, being treated nice, why would you settle for a joker who does the opposite unless you just slow? Are you just desperate? You know what I'm saying? So when she made the statement like, y'all be wanting a man to chase after y'all, why would we chase after a man? We ain't had to chase after nothing else our whole life. Everything we ever wanted came to us. We was the spoiled ones. We was the ones that always got the gifts and the cars at an early age, and whatever we wanted, everybody at the school liked us, or valedictorian and all this other kind of stuff. So why would we sit up and chase after a man when we ain't had to chase nothing else in our life? We done been spoiled our whole life. So that really plays a part. It's not a lot of good men out here, y'all. It's really not. Most of the good men, they are married. They already have wives. Because they say what? Good men don't stay single long. It's not a whole bunch of good men out here. Y'all are just used to, y'all think that the bare minimum, that's a whole lot to y'all. A lot of women in this time, in today's time, y'all are not used to really being spoiled by a man. Y'all are not used to not having to go 50-50 with a man. Y'all are not used to having a man that's really a true provider, that's going to make sure that your needs are taken care of, that you ain't got to stress about a bill, you ain't got to stress or worry about school. Y'all deal with dudes that they stay in the car while you get out and you pump gas. That's the type of men y'all used to dealing with. Y'all used to dealing with dudes that don't open the door for y'all when y'all go out. So when you do get a man who does those bare minimum basic things, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's everything to you. That's a good man to you. When really the man is just doing basic stuff, honestly, that he should be doing anyways. So when a woman tell me it's a lot of good men out here, your definition of what a good man is and my definition of what a good man is two different things. That's why you had that mindset. A man that you can't even call on when you got a financial need, a man that ain't trying to make sure you straight, a joker that you can't even call if you got a flat tire to come and get you out of this situation. Any man that you just really can't depend on, understand me, it's not a good man to me. Any man that's not honest with you as a woman, any man that don't take keeping you safe seriously, a man that don't keep you safe and take your protection and you being protected to heart, that's not a good man to me. Y'all in relationship with men that he know he in beef and drama in the streets, and that he got different men looking for him, and he's still riding around with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that stuff, that, honey, that's not a good man to me. So I was reading this comment right here. This man say that he was married. He did everything under the sun for his wife, but it still wasn't enough. I guess he pumped gas, he paid bills, this, that, and the third. Let me tell you something. I have seen men make statements like this, and they have a history of cheating on their wife. Like, when y'all come out and y'all say y'all was the best man, I did everything for this woman, she still wasn't happy. 9 times out of 10, that woman was still not happy for a reason. It's something that man is leaving out in regard to that marriage or relationship. Like, yeah, you paid all the bills. You know, you made sure she didn't have to work. You did all this stuff. You did everything underneath the sun, but you were constantly cheating on her. Or you had a history of constantly cheating on her in the marriage, and that's why nothing's never good enough, because that woman is hurt and is upset and is torn and broken by you constantly sleeping with other women on her.
They want. So they're never going to have these posts saying how they're going to be able to help good black men. They're going to say what good black men are and how just rare they are, right? And the presumption is that all of them are good. All black women are flawless. And the reason why they're struggling to maintain a relationship is because black men just aren't educated enough, aren't rich enough, etc.
Like, they say stuff like, well, I paid all the bills and I bought anything she wanted, but I used to put my hands on her. Or I was never really at home like that. So when you see comments like this from men, a lot of the times it's something that they're leaving out. Majority of women are just not going to act like they unsatisfied in a marriage or just raise up a lot of hell for nothing. When these women are raising hell with these men, a lot of the times there is a reason behind it. It's something that man is currently doing or have done in the past that is bothering that woman, or that she's still trying to heal from, can't let go, broken from, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be careful when you hear statements like this from men, because it's things that they be leaving out that took place in a marriage as to why their wife was not satisfied.
Everything you've done to me, already done to you.
So to this comment right here, because I done heard this comment a few times from men and women, basically saying if a man is not married to you, he don't need to take care of you. Y'all feel like, well, since you're not married to a woman, you ain't really got to do nothing for her. If that man can't do nothing for you during the dating stage, during the stage of him sleeping with you, during the relationship stage, he ain't gonna be no good during the marriage. A man is not just gonna wait until you marry you to really start doing stuff for you. If that man has interest in you, he's gonna do things for you off the rip. Understand me? And y'all love to say, well, if he ain't married for her, he ain't got to do this and that. Okay, you shouldn't be sleeping with a woman that you can't do nothing for either. You don't need to be sleeping with a woman and you can't help her. The same thing applies. These men who sit up and tell y'all, well, you ain't my wife, I ain't got to do this and that, he can't do it anyways, and he don't want to do it. A woman that sit up and say, well, he not her husband, so he ain't got to pay up no bills, he ain't got to help her with this, that, and that. That's a woman that ain't used to nothing herself. That's a woman who sit up and sleep with men and don't get nothing out of it outside of just an increase in her body count. As long as you're dealing with me, you're going to be doing for me. And if you don't, or if you're not going to be dealing with me. I don't waste my time dealing with men who don't have nothing to offer that I view as beneficial. I don't need you to talk to me. I don't need you to sit up and take me out on all these different dinner dates and that's it. I can do that for myself. If you are not going to be of a benefit to my life, if you can't help me get no further than where I am, I don't want to have no dealings with you. Y'all, so I saw a video on here of a young lady that said that women need to start praying for men, that we need to start praying for our men because the enemy is attacking them. She was talking about how we need our men to come out of lust. We need them to be the leaders that they were called to be, and that women need to just really get on one accord and start lifting men in prayer because the devil got a hold on them. And as I was sitting, listening to her message, it made me think, in Genesis, the serpent came and approached Eve and convinced Eve to eat from the tree, okay? He didn't approach Adam. He went to Eve while she was alone. And many say it's because Eve was supposed to be the weaker vessel, or the more the vessel that could be more so influenced. In today's time, yes, it is true that the enemy is attacking a lot of our brothers. He's attacking our black men, and they're in an identity crisis. The enemy is trying to trick them out of their identity, trick them out of their position, and make them think that they don't have the power that they possess to be the leaders and the providers and the protectors. And the women seem to be more strong. A lot of more women have a relationship with God. They're focused in just really getting everything that God has for them and really just bettering themselves in every aspect. When you look at the churches, there is majority of women. Just about every church you look at, especially if we're discussing black churches, there are more women in the church than there are men. And I've heard a lot of men say, well, they don't go to church because they don't believe in all that. They don't want nobody. They sit up and say pastors ain't nothing but pimps, or they don't want nobody getting them out their money. You can go to church and get the word and build your relationship with God, and not be used, and don't allow nobody to use you. A lot of people ask me, why am I not married now, or why didn't I marry any of the men that I've dated? One of the things that kept me from marrying a lot of the men that I dated is they did not have a strong relationship with God. Were they decent men? Yes, they were. Did they treat me the way that I wanted to be treated? Yes, they did. Did they give me, what I wanted and treat me like a lady and all this stuff? They honestly did. But they just did not have a strong relationship with God. They didn't have a prayer life, and I could not get them to come to church. And that is why I did not marry any of those men. A lot of our men, the reason why the enemy is easily tearing them up is because they refuse to have a relationship with God. They refuse to pray. They refuse to go to church. You don't need a woman to get you in that position, because sometimes y'all try to make it like, well, if he just had the right woman, if he just had the right mate. You mean to tell me you got to have a woman to get a relationship with God? You got to have a woman to get closer to the Father? You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't take for me to have to come in your life, you know what I'm saying, and marry you or be with you. I wanted somebody who was already on that, on their own. I wanted that. I didn't want to have to sit up and lead nobody to the church house. I wanted you to already be that type of man. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of our brothers, the enemy is whooping them left and right. That's why they under demonic influence, demonic oppression. The enemy got a hold on a lot of our men because they are so stubborn. It's a heavy rejection. I ain't going to church. I don't want to get right. I don't believe in all that. I'm going to do what I want to do. If you are a black woman and you are attracted to black men and you think they are the best men on this earth, go ahead and scroll past this video. Listen, to my black women that have suddenly become unattracted to black men, like you have reached a point to where black men are no longer your preference and you're just not attracted to them anymore. And this is something that, you know, is kind of, that has happened recently or kind of suddenly. And I had to add on, wow, gaining the desire, okay, to date outside. Like you're becoming attracted to other races of men. You're more interested in dating other races. How are y'all adjusting to that? Like, how are y'all adjusting from going from black men being your number one preference and you being attracted to your own men to just losing attraction for your race of men and not really just finding them attractive anymore? You just don't want them. You don't want to date them. You don't want to be bothered by them. Like, how do y'all feel about that? How y'all processing it, going from one place to another? Just help me out real quick. I'm just trying to see what the comments gonna do and what y'all gonna say.
The leanest burger in the world could be the meanest in the world if you cook it that way. I need to stop smoking this